Hello everybody, this is vinnieart Mella, and today I'm going to do another masterclass. Before I get into it, just a quick sum up of my newest campaign that's out there, Shadow of the Kraken. This is a pirate story. This is going to be a 50-page perfect bound comic book or graphic novel. This is the first in a series. So yeah, I hope you guys will check this one out. It's more like a kind of a classic pirate story, a historical kind of aspects to it, but we do have a comic book twist, some supernatural elements that are going to be popping up in this series. But yeah, please check this one out. I'm going to put links in the description, and you can find out all about it there. But yeah, let's jump into this class. So I basically I started a couple of expressions here, and I figured I would kind of get into you know, what kind of makes these expressions. So I have a face of, you know, some slight surprise, and one of like kind of fear and shock kind of thing. So I want to get into it a bit, so I'm going to do just like a draw over to show you guys. So the thing that you have to remember when doing these kind of expressions and stuff is thinking about the flow of the expression itself. So it really comes down to the eyebrows in a drawing, and the brow itself. There's certain elements that you need in there. You also need, since we're doing an expression like this, that kind of the big eye look. So this is the thing that you got to be thinking about here. It's you know, wider eyed, show the full the full pupil, or most of it. Since we're on an angle, it kind of, we cut across. So we have to play with essentially the muscles, the cheeks, and things of that nature in all of this. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys that. I'll get into more specifics in a second. Let me just delete this real quick. Deselect. So yeah, the other thing you need to be thinking about is the cheeks really make up most expressions in the face, and it's the muscles and how they interact with things like the lower eyelids. Eyelids are very key in showing lots of expression. Then like the length of the face for this, since it's more of that, you know, that shock moment. Act it out a bit as well. You know, what else do we have here? We have the you know, the on the side of the nose, you get those wrinkles that pull straight down into the mouth, and like everything kind of connects to itself. So this is kind of like that open mouth expression. There's a lot going on here, you know. Think about this type of situation is what we have on the face. The nose, the nostrils are bigger, since it's shock, you know, shock and awe. So what happens is the whole face kind of like opens up. These are the things you need to be thinking about in terms of doing these drawings and that kind of stuff. Let me take this back up to the top here, because I didn't want to get rid of everything. But yeah, so basically that's what we have to be thinking about. So I'll do another drawing for you guys, and you know, some other stuff to be more aware of when we're breaking down these kind of expressions and things of that nature. So I'm just gonna, again, this is just quick, sloppy, loose, because I just want to break down certain shapes and ideas to start out with and think about. So let's do something along these lines. And again, I'm just focusing, like I said, on the key parts of the face. I don't even want to think about structure of the head yet. I'll erase all that, because I don't even want to get into that. what I want to do is get into the actual expression. So we're gonna get rid of all the other stuff, and we'll focus on that. So basically, with the nose in here, the shape of it. So bear in mind for a second on what we're doing. So what we're thinking about, again, we're thinking about cheeks. We're just going to be kind of pulling everything in. You know, we are, this is almost looking like a mask. But this is super sloppy and messy. Just get in there and erase. I'm probably using a brush that's way too big on here. But it's been a minute since I was doing these. But what kind of happens here is as the cheeks go up, the eyes begin to get smaller because the cheeks are pushing, the muscles in the cheeks are pushing the eyelids so that they're a little bit more narrow or almond shaped. Again, grab a mirror. Most artists do this anyway. Grab a mirror and start doing different expressions and study your own features. See what kind of works for you, or what you could pick up on. And it's gonna help you get better at drawing expressions and faces and all that. Because then, like, if we're gonna go more extreme, like you're thinking about the wrinkles in that happen in the crow's feet, what you would call it. You know, it depends how much do you want to be adding into the drawing itself, and the subtlety to it. So right now I'm just kind of shaping it. I used way too thick of a brush, but that's okay, like I said, because we're kind of erasing anyway, and just getting a little bit more in here and kind of building up, almost like a sculptor with clay. And the other things that you need to be thinking about start to come into play. Like I said, we're thinking about what's pulling on the face, on the muscle structure, and that kind of stuff. So it starts to form itself, you know, and then you could get the forehead in here, the top of the head. Again, super loose, a little bit messy. That's all right. This isn't supposed to be a class on the head structure. I'm just going again. I'm just kind of forcing it in there because the thing I just wanted to keep the focus on is the actual expression itself of, like, the face and all that, and then you could start to, again, like what I'm doing is I'm making it a little bit more subtle, so getting rid of some of these lines. I just went a little more extreme with it, so you guys will know what I'm talking about. And again, when you're smiling like that, your nostrils and stuff, they get a little wider as well. Everything gets pulled. So maybe the nostrils themselves will look a little bit thinner. Thinking about, you know, what happens to the face when you make these expressions. So yeah, I hope that's making sense to you guys. I don't care who you're drawing, man, woman, whatever. You know, our features, all muscles kind of in the face, they're pretty much all the same. There's just like slight variations depending on heritage and everything else. Because I think I've talked about this on a previous masterclass. You know, like Asians have slightly different features than other people. You know, Caucasian versus African American, whatever. Because people have, again, some people have wider noses, thinner noses. Some have more of a curvature. Others have, you know, more of like the Roman nose where it really sticks out a lot. It all depends. But the one thing we all do have, we have cheeks, we have the muscles in the face, and they all kind of flow in certain directions. And yeah, and that's what kind of builds up the face and what we're doing here and thinking about. And again, from here it pulls all down to the chin. Yeah, so again, forgive some of the crudeness. Like I said, I much prefer doing this on paper and pencil, but right now the best way I could teach is through the computer, because I could just start recording these and putting them out there. Again, I'm kind of limited on time between all the work and stuff I have to be doing, so that's why these are pretty fast and loose. I try to keep them within a certain time frame. So yeah, and again, like I said, you could start to add in depending on what you want to do and how subtle you want to be with these expressions. You know, because if you're more villainous, you're gonna bring the brow down more, and just by doing that subtle change, you know, the expression is more, you know, menacing. And depending what you do with lighting as well, it's gonna play a big factor in all this kind of stuff. So yeah, like I said, and from that point, you got to be thinking about your characters too. Who are you drawing? Is it a good guy? Is it a bad guy? And from there, you can kind of build upon what you want to do with how expressive you want to make your characters, because you want to stay in character with them. Lighting and that kind of stuff is gonna play a part as well. And again, if you're smiling, you're gonna see you know, less of that pupil. Another thing that to keep in mind, if you're doing a villain, the center of it, if you make it tiny, it's more menacing. The bigger it is, it's like the more warmth you're going to be putting into the face and into the eyes, and that plays another kind of big part as well in storytelling. But yeah, it depends what you want to do and what you're showcasing here with your drawing and your characters. So I hope that does make some sense. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. And yeah, definitely lighting as well. So let's say like the light source is going to be coming from underneath. So then you start to think about how you want to be showcasing, and you're going to get like cast shadows. And with the cast shadows, you're also going to be pushing the lines in the face, so it could look more extreme. Things like that. So here's his lip. We're going to have some shading here, shading in here. You know, I'll get it from the top. And it becomes more dramatic. So those are things you got to be thinking about. Since, like I said, we have that cheekbone, or the cheek muscle. Think about the shape of it. And yeah, you kind of determine where your shadows are going to be from that kind of point. But yeah, I hope this makes sense to you guys, and kind of what we're thinking about when it comes to expressions. The things that should be in your mind when doing these drawings. Like I said, it's going to be the cheeks and what they do, and how they push these certain elements. They squash your face in different areas. You know, think about how it all connects, that kind of thing. You know, so this area in here is pretty much what we're thinking about when it comes to expressions. You know, that's going to make a big character. Everything in here. Well, I guess you could pull it here, because sometimes, depending on what you're drawing, again, because like the fear faces and all that kind of stuff. What is it doing? It's kind of, this is the area. This is what we're thinking about. You know, what are the cheeks doing here? They are in opposite directions. They're going down. Over here, they're going up. The brow, what is that doing? You know, think about this kind of stuff. The nose, how it pulls. It's wider, it's shorter and wider. Over here, it's more open. You know, the mouth, it all pulls. Over here, you know, it's pulling and curving. Think about that. The cheeks, kind of in this motion. These are the things that we need to be thinking about when we're doing our drawings. You know, the big, wide, open kind of shots. So yeah, I hope this master class helps at least a couple of you guys out there. And again, this is an exercise in thinking about what the face does, how muscle tissue and stuff reacts to what you're doing, because you can get lots of different expressions from playing with a lot of things as well. Like if you want to do eyebrows up, eyebrows down, and it's going to determine, like I said, what I did over here, like with the brow. When I brought it down, he became a lot more menacing looking. You know, the center point is down, that's up, the points are up. So think about that kind of stuff, and yeah, you should be pretty good. And practice all different kinds of expressions, men, female, whatever you want to do. Just keep practicing, and you're going to get something. So like I said, the first head's a little bit more of a subtle expression. Then I have two that are a little bit more extreme, and yeah, so go with that. And yeah, everyone have a great one. If you have any other questions or some other ideas for me to be teaching you guys a different master class, just let me know right in the comment section. But yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.